Welcome to Purely Music. Do I have a special show for you today? I always tell you that try to bring to you the best in Christian music, and today you're going to be blessed with the music of Valor. And let's introduce our friends here. This is John and Daniel and Paul. And
good to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about what you guys do and where you got started, and a little bit of history of Valor for those that perhaps have not been blessed with understanding all of your backgrounds here.
Well, the name of the group came from the idea having the courage to cross boundaries and take your gifts, your abilities where they're needed and where they'll do the most good, not necessarily just where they're most easily accepted. The group got its start, I guess, several years ago. I was working with a group by the name of Acapella, and
yeah, I remember Acapella.
Yeah, and we had heard these rumors of this amazing bass singer in Alabama, and we got him to record with us in Tennessee.
Is this the bass singer we have right here today?
No, that's not him.
Okay.
It was Paul, and we found that the rumors were true, and he turned out to be not just an amazing talent, but loves God, a good friend, and a joy to work with, and so we started this work together.
And Daniel, how did you get into the group here? Is that a recent thing, or did spot you the same way? Or?
Just pure misfortune, really. That's all. That's really all I contribute to. No, actually,
that doesn't sound like what I heard, though. It sounds pretty good.
Just mutual friends. You know, music business, kind of small circles, and I actually had a relatively good friend when I first moved to Nashville that I made, and he kind of took me under his wings. His name was George Pendergrass. Sang lead for the acapella company for years, and he and John were good friends, and in turn, I guess he did some work with Valor, selected dates, and I went to a show one night, and we hit it off, and they're good guys, and I'm of course a good guy, so it all worked out.
Now, Paul, tell me about you. Your bass and your gift is obviously a very major part of Valor, I could see, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Grant, Alabama, and when I got to work with the acapella company and meet John, that was an honor for me, and so we have a lot of fun doing what we do.
Yeah, you could be doing many other things in music besides gospel music. Why have you chosen Christian music?
I feel like when God gives us gifts, we're responsible to use those for His glory, and so that sort of leads us to Christian music.
Yeah, good. You all feel the same way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. Well, let's just do a little singing, and then let's talk a little more about how people can get in touch with you and invite you to their area. So let's listen to the music of Valor. Well, how did you like that? There is more coming of the beautiful music of Valor, so you're going to want to call your friends and tell them that Purely Music is on the air. Now, many of you are wondering how to get in touch with them, so I'm going to ask one of the members to let us know, how do we get in touch with you? Tell me a little bit about it.
You can visit our website at valormusic.com,
Okay.
Or our email address is valormusic@AOL, or you can call the toll-free number, I believe, on the screen.
Yes, it's on the screen. In fact, as you all know, you can always get in touch with our musicians by just going to www.safetv.org, click on the name Valor, and you're going to be able to find all the information you need. Now, how many projects you have so far, if people want to have access to your music?
We have one official released project. We have a pre-release, which is the predecessor of a couple of more projects coming up, and then a Christmas pre-release as well. So
yeah. I love that Christmas project that you began. It's just fantastic. Some of the unique ways that you have put together some of the songs. And I also was very impressed with the national anthem.
Oh, thank you.
And it was really, really unique. In fact, you have one chord that you do towards the two-thirds into the song, that you go to a real dissonant.
The song,
really nicely done.
The arrangement, I feel, really showcases these two guys. They arranged that's their arrangement of the national anthem.
Very nice, really, really nice.
Privilege for me to just record it and be a part of it. So much less sing.
Well, you do a good job. I just really, really appreciate it. Now, we're just talking during the break here. In Valor, you have had as much as 4 people a part of the group? Are you looking for somebody else? You have a trio right now.
To be able to do more a cappella stuff, we would love to have a 4th member. It leaves you a lot more flexibility. And we always are on the lookout, I guess, for just the right person.
What voice range are you looking for?
Tenor, preferably.
Well, you have enough bass right here.
Yeah.
Now, really, Paul, tell us about. Were you always able to sing that low notes? Or developed?
No, actually, I had as a kid, I've sung most of my life, but I had a high voice until I was about 14, and my voice changed, sometime around then, and from that point, it's just sort of gradually gone down. So I guess I just sort of fell into singing bass because I couldn't sing anything else.
What are the notes the lowest note you can sing?
Oh, I don't know. That depends on the day. If it's a good day or a bad day, I don't know. I guess the lowest thing that I've recorded is around a G off the end of the piano, something like that.
That's low enough.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's continue to listen to the music of Valor. Well, we hope that you've been blessed with the music of Valor. I have asked them if they could join us again next week, and they said yes. I'm sure you're going to want to call your friends and let them know that Purely Music is on the air next week again with Valor. Thank you guys for coming. That was great.
Thank you for having us.
That you've performed, which is wonderful. And one of the questions that sometimes we ask our musicians is, when you travel, you it's all glamour, or do you have to leave some things back home? Daniel, how do you? Are you all married, single? Tell me about yourself, Daniel.
Well, Carlos, it's funny you should ask that question to me because I'm actually unattached, don't really have any big commitments at home or anything.
Okay.
We always tell people it's a really cool thing to get to leave home and go and see the world. It's
yes.
a really great blessing. But at the same time, it's never easy to leave your stomping grounds and have to go out, and it takes a lot of energy and dedication, that kind of thing. For me, it's at a glance doesn't seem like as big a deal because I don't have anyone that I'm leaving at home. But I'm sure it's a lot tougher for these guys.
Paul, how about you?
Yeah, I have three children and a wife, so it's tough. I have a son that's 12 and a daughter that's 8 and a daughter that's 10. So every time we leave, it's kind of sad, but we still, it's just a part of what we do.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
That's good. Now, John, you have kids too, and
Yes.
family support you on these?
2 girls, 10 and 6. Occasionally, we're in a position we can bring the kids along with us. Just last week, we were able to bring Paul's son Luke to New York with us, and he got afforded experiences that he probably never would have been able to have.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead.
But it takes just people who I've seen so many successful music ministries and successful family lives, and it just takes people who are committed to making sure that in the real world it works, and that they know that they're blessed beyond belief. And that God takes care of them.
Well, I always like to bring this up because a lot of the times, like we're just talking many times, the concept of music and musicians and television is all glamour, but you got to see me sometimes when I'm working with my horses in the barn, I don't know what I do today. So it is part of the, we are regular human beings that have, like you said earlier, discovered that, hey, we are responsible for a gift that has been given to us, and so let's use it to bless others with his gift, and you are doing it so well. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And look forward to your next presentation next week. And John,
thank you,
Daniel,
Thanks.
pleasure, and Paul. And to all of you, we'll see you next week for another edition of Purely Music. Welcome to Purely Music. Once again, my very special guests, Valor. This is one of the greatest groups you'll ever hear, and you will be blessed with their music. They were here last week. Once again, Valor, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Once again,
Good to see you,
and let's have your names again for the sake of those who were not here last week.
John?
And
Daniel.
Paul.
And Valor, just recapping quickly, you've been doing music together as a title, Valor, for a number of years.
A little over 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
But we started this work a little closer to 4 years, I guess, but before we settled on the name Valor.
Okay. And now, again, the name Valor, which means?
The courage to cross boundaries. The idea being that our charge, every single one of us, is to take our gifts, our abilities, wherever they're needed most, not just places where they're easy to take them, where they're most easily accepted.
And how about when you go about choosing those who become part of Valor? Because if you are like a lot of groups through the years, the members may change.
That's right.
Even though the concept and the uniqueness of Valor remains.
Right.
And you do have a very unique blend. And I'm sure you loved their music last week. And if you haven't heard it, you are in for a treat. So hang in there. Tell me a little bit about how you go about choosing members.
It's definitely not for everybody. Actually, finding talented people is not really all that difficult, but finding the right mixture of talent plus somebody who is serious about using their gift for the right purpose and committed and willing to stick with it for the long haul.
Yeah.
All of these things, it's a chemistry. It's kind of a family.
Right. Paul, is that how do you feel about Valor and your participation?
No, I mean it's a sacrifice. It's very much a sacrifice, but it's also something that we love, and we do it because we love it, and feel called to do it.
Yeah, that's the way. Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've actually had the privilege of I say privilege. We had the opportunity to be with lots of different guys on the road. Just all of us in different situations, and we've been in different groups where the chemistry wasn't really that great. So it's really great to be with these guys because they're easy.
What is the one common thing that puts you together?
Well, above all, a desire to please God.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Well, let's hope that they'll please you now. This is Valor. Well, we hope that you've been blessed with the music of Valor. There's more coming, so let your friends know that Purely Music is on the air. We were just talking about the fact that when we do music, out there are people that are wondering, maybe they have their gift of music, but they are kind of afraid of doing it. What actually made it for you in the last moment when you say, well, I have a gift of music and I want to use it for God? I mean, what was the thing that made you make that move? Was someone that invited you to a group, or you just began doing it as a child? Tell me a little bit about that aspect of music.
I think the biggest factor for me is constant confirmation when you see people coming to you and telling you this particular song, did this for me at this particular time in my life. That is, I think that's definitive, and that says you're doing what you should be doing. And especially the more of that we see as we go on to do this.
How do you feel about that?
For me, I think it's a lot of that. It's definitely good, as John says, confirmation that you're doing what you're called to do. But I think too that it's on a less sort of mystical level. It's sort of a decision you have to make every day to keep going out, because it really does get, it can get spiritually draining at times. So you really have to make a decision every day, just like in any ministry, in any aspect of your life. You make a decision every day to do the right thing. You make a decision every day to spend time with God, whatever it is that you do. You really have to make that commitment and make it day in and day out.
Is that how was it with you?
Absolutely. I mean, I think people feel like that we sing Christian music every night, and because of that, our faith should be strong all the time. But we struggle just like everybody else does, and it's a test. But working with the three of us working together, I think it helps make me stronger. Working with the guys, they help build me up as well.
That's great. John, how do we get in touch with you?
Our website is valormusic.com. Our email address is valormusic@AOL, or you can call the toll-free number on the screen.
Great. You always can get in touch with Valor through Purely Music on SafeTV, www.safetv.org. Well, let's continue to listen to the music of Valor. Well, we hope that you've been blessed with Purely Music and Valor. Their music is just outstanding, and I'm sure that you're going to want to have them come to your area. And so feel free to give them a call. They will love to hear not only how you enjoy what they sang about, but also that you like to have them come to your area. We were just talking a little bit about the dynamics of music and Christian music. Certainly, your abilities, your gifts are at the level of any secular music talent, and you could be doing anything anywhere in the world with music besides Christian and gospel music. Why have you chosen that?
I think God puts a desire in every human being, Christian or non, to ask the question, why am I here? And that question and the answers that I believe that we find on a regular basis are the reason that we choose to use the gifts that were given to us for the purpose that I believe that they were given to us. And everything else gets added to that as well.
Yeah. Daniel, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that that a lot of different kinds of art forms and artists out there know this, that you can pour yourself into something and feel empty afterwards, and I think that the cool thing about what we do is that we're constantly getting filled after we put it out there, and that's kind of a cool exchange, because a lot of times, a lot of different kinds of music don't offer that chance and that privilege to get to get an opportunity anyway, to get as much as you put into it out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul.
Yeah, we get. I think, like Daniel was saying, we get a fulfillment, the same musical fulfillment that any secular artist gets, but then we get the blessing of the message that's in the music that we're working on. Yeah.
And I'm sure that the people, like you were saying earlier, sometimes people come to you and said your music did something to me.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly? That's sort of lets us know that what we're doing is what God would have us.
Great. Well, listen, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Next time you come to this area, we'd love to have you back as our special guest.
Thank you, Carlos.
John, thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel,
Take it easy.
and Paul.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week for another edition of Purely Music.
And I'll walk with you if the road ever seems too long. No matter how far, how hard the trial, I'll go with you every mile. You're my brother and I'll walk with you if the road ever seems too long. Come on and sing it with me. You're my brother and I'll stand by you. If the going ever gets tough, you're my brother and I'll stand by you. If the going ever gets tough, yeah, trouble and heartaches are all you see. You can count on me. You're my brother and I'll stand by you. Going ever gets tough, whoa, trouble and heartaches are all you see.